You are now tuned in to Sophisticated State of Mind Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Sana Yar.
And I am Miss Anarchy.
And we're going to sit, sip, and smoke and talk about anything and everything, but keep it sophisticated with a good old dick twist.
That's right.
Now, so, today I want to talk about what would you do /
am I the asshole? So the way we kind of came up with this episode idea and thought about it is a good friend of ours came up to us and kind of told us a little bit of a story, right? She was in a bit of a predicament in a sense where I won't bring the whole story up, but I'll just say a little bit where we have our friend, let's call her A, right? Person A. She works with a bunch of other really good friends. Her boss was a good friend of hers before she started working for him.
Right.
And they do a Thirsty Thursday, obviously every Thursday. Thursday they go.
Every Thursday.
And have a couple of beers at the shop, whatever. Have a good time. And
yada.
Most of the time spend the night at the shop so they're not drinking and driving and drive home in the morning. Awesome, cool, safe. Wouldn't be a problem, right? But I guess one of the days A is hanging out with a friend and they're doing their thing and they go and do their Thirsty Thursday thing, spend the night and leave the next morning. And I guess this another person who happens to be a good friend
B,
of
let's
A's,
just say
so
B.
let's call her B.
B
Comes in. And mind you, B doesn't work there with A. B is just a friend of the shop people, right? So she's hanging out there because her stuff is there. She comes in and she decides to basically create a problem that wasn't there and say that there's this huge mess that A created along with her friend and blah, 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 blah,
and
blah,
she
blah,
told
blah. And decides
C.
to tell C. Now, C is A's boss.
But A's and B's friend.
Also A and B's friend. So the whole thing of why A is frustrated is why did B have to go and tell her boss
C
something that she didn't necessarily do, right? She didn't create this big old disaster that B is claiming it to be. So A's now upset. And she takes a day or two to kind of cool down a little, but the next week or whatever, Thirsty Thursdays again, she's drinking, having a good time now with another person, right? Not the original friend, but another friend. She starts thinking about the situation that happened before and about B, and starts getting real petty, and is like, you know what?
Petty?
If you're gonna accuse me of doing things, well, why not me actually do it? So she went and kind of pettily fucked with B's stuff, right? And no actual real property damage, just petty damage. Let me go put this. Oh, you want it over here, nobody touch it? Oh, now you can't find it. Now petty it's in a special spot. Now it's over here. And now this stuff's over there. And now this is on the floor. And now this is the whatever.
Now it's everywhere.
So she created the mess that B told originally that she created, right? So A was telling us this story, and she was like, well, am I the asshole for doing this? Am I the asshole for creating another mess or a situation or being petty? And me and him are both like, nah. I don't think so. So that's where we
decided to do our
come up
own,
with the idea.
What would you do? Am I the
asshole situation? So we scoured Reddit and
scour power.
I felt like I found a decent amount of pretty good, some lighthearted, some funny, stories.
I found
and I feel like
myself.
You found a good mix of some stuff too. So let's get into it. Do you want to do your story first? Or do you want to read your story? Okay, let's read your story first.
So here we
Start
go.
It off.
All right. I found this one on Reddit. I posted by nude_sleep. All right. And she goes, I'm an 18-year-old female who likes to sleep nude at night, and I don't really like pajamas, as I love the feel of a soft blanket on myself rather than pajamas. I only sleep in the nude in my room, and I always have curtains on my doorway so no one can see into my room when they first come near it. Now, I asked this question because my mother believes that it's gross to sleep this way in my room because I have a younger brother. And as she puts it, he's growing up and he's getting interested in sex. Gross. Yeah, I know. Also, whenever I leave my room, I always put something on unless I'm going to the bathroom, which isn't a big issue since I live in the basement and the bathroom is right next door. Am I the asshole for sleeping nude? What do you think?
I want to say no. Because one, it's not like you're being disrespectful and just sleeping on the couch naked with a
Yeah,
bunch of people living with you. You're in
that
your
could be a
own
problem.
room.
Hmm.
You sleep how you like. If you like to sleep in just your underwear and a t-shirt, sleep in underwear and a t-shirt. If you like to be a weirdo psychopath and sleep in jeans, sleep in jeans. If you like to sleep butt ass naked, sleep butt ass naked. I don't feel like you're an asshole for that. It's a it's different when you're living with people and you
Yeah.
have roommates, whether or not they're related to you. When
Hmm.
you have roommates or just people, housemates, you have to be courteous of them.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm saying she's not the asshole, because she is still
She pretty
being
much had her
courteous.
own
She
bathroom.
has her own room. She lives in the basement,
Bathroom's right
right?
across the hall.
Bathroom's right across the
So,
hallway.
you
All you
know.
got to do is put on some shorts real quick, run to the bathroom, run back, take them off. You're still back into your space of comfort. I don't see that as an issue. The issue, I think, is with her mom.
Wait. I was waiting for you to get to this part.
Yeah,
Give me that
because my whole
juice. Tell me
thing
what you
is,
think.
I'm pretty sure a lot of females grew up with being told, um, oh, don't wear that because your uncle's around, or don't wear those shorts because there's going to be men in the house. And it's like, why am I, as a whoever 12-year-old, being sexualized by a grown ass man? Why can't I wear shorts? It's a hot ass day. Why can't I sleep naked? It's a hot ass
Hey,
night. Why is your mom so concerned about your brother
let me ask you
sexualizing
something.
you
Let
or
me
any
ask you
sense of the
something.
way? That's
I
weird
I'm
to me.
so glad you mentioned that because and then I was tripping because I was like, I'm a dude and I'm thinking this way. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But I was thinking the same thing you said. I was like, wait a minute. Why you as a mother think your son is looking at your daughter in a sexual way?
That's not how it.
Like that's not
Yeah.
cool. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, I was like, is she gonna pass that up?
No, absolutely
And you
not. Because
didn't.
it's such a huge thing, and it's always been where this sort of uh, I don't have the best word for it, but that's sort of like
That
misogyny in a sense, where it's like, why?
but it's like you said, okay, so if your parents will tell you, put something on your uncles in the living room.
Yeah, your uncle's
My
coming
thought
over, or
is,
your
what kind of dude he is to where I gotta put on something
exactly,
else?
where
You
I
know what I'm
can't walk
saying?
around in a spaghetti strap because
Because
you
he
feel
around. What do you know about him? You know what
exactly,
I'm saying? So it's
exactly.
just
It
like,
says a lot.
yo,
It says a lot about people,
that's
and
some weird
not only
shit.
about the people that say it, the
Mm-hmm.
people that condone it,
Mm.
and the people that you're saying it about. Where
Yeah.
it's just, it may not be any sort of thing where that uncle may not give a fuck what you wear. Doesn't
Right.
solid dude doesn't
They just
care.
saying it's
Walk around in short shorts. I'm
inappropriate
not
or
gonna sit there and
whatever.
sexualize my
Yeah.
12-year-old niece.
Mm-mm.
But I don't know how old this woman is. Obviously, she's old enough to
She
write on a
said
forum.
she said she 18.
18 years old. You're 18 years old. I feel like if you're comfortable sleeping naked, you're gonna sleep naked. That's whatever. Let it be. I don't feel
I
like
don't
she's the
see
asshole for that.
no, I don't either. I actually don't think she's the asshole because I think
All right.
you don't have to be an adult to sleep naked.
know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if
There's
that's
kids
the
that,
way
kids that
you
just sleep
feel
in their
good
boxers,
sleeping.
kids that just sleep in their underwear. So it's
Yeah,
kids
it's
that,
hot.
or people
It don't have nothing to
people
do
in
with
general.
sex at all.
Absolutely not.
You just hot.
Or, like she said, she's like, I don't know about you, but me, favorite thing ever is when you get out of the shower, right? You're nice and fresh and clean, for me, all freshly shaven and silky smooth and
And you
all
get into
lotioned up.
that
And you get
nice
into that nice,
cold blanket
not even, for me, I like the nice, warm, fresh out of the dryer
type
blanket
blanket.
moments.
Oh,
or if it's hot, the nice ice cold sheets.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But
That
I
right
do
there.
like the feel of that.
Mhm.
That like almost silky sheets like rubbing
Yeah,
up
just
against you. It
against you.
feels
Yeah.
good. And also, why do you need to be in a full ass outfit to sleep? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's
I don't
hot.
get
It's
it.
already hot, and you
I don't
want me
get
to
it.
sleep with
I've
that
woken up like
hot
drenched
shit
in
on?
sweat, and it's like, why?
Mm-mm.
No, you don't need to do that. All right, I got one for you.
So, yeah, you told me you got some. So what
Yeah.
you got over there?
All right, so I'll read this one.
Why don't you share with us what you
You
have?
tell me what you think.
I will.
It says, I'm just going to get right to it. My 25 female, boyfriend 28 male, likes to be called daddy in bed while we're being intimate. I've obliged this request, but it's starting to creep me out, and I've decided I don't want to do it anymore. He's not happy with this and insists it has nothing to do with the connotation of the word. He just simply enjoys hearing me say it. Since he wasn't budging on the issue, I told him I'd like for him to call me grandma in bed as a compromise. He didn't like this option and said it was giving him visuals he would prefer not to have. Like, okay, join the
Ding,
fucking
ding,
club.
ding, ding, ding.
Anyway, the last time he tried to initiate intimacy with me, I started to refer to myself as grandma in the third person. Like, do you like it when grandma does that? Oh, yeah. And he flew off the handle. He said I ruined the mood, made him feel gross, and I was being ridiculous. I think I proved my point, but he thinks I'm being an asshole. So, am I the asshole?
I'm gonna just get right into it. I don't think she's an asshole.
I don't think so
Simply
either.
because, if you feel comfortable with the word and you good with that, that's cool. But she clearly stated she wasn't comfortable with that, and she didn't feel comfortable with doing that anymore. But he didn't want to budge on it
Because he really liked it. And that's my thing, is when your kinks aren't compatible, then maybe you need to move on.
Yeah, take that out
Where
of there.
if he's not willing to compromise on like a daddy thing where he needs
Or
to be
she's not willing
called
to
daddy,
compromise.
she
It's
already,
just-
because she already technically compromised. She
No,
tried.
no,
She said
No,
in
I'm
this
saying
one,
like in general. Like
Yeah.
it should be a thing to where it's
But
just
she
like I'm a
said-
compromise for her.
she already obliged to this request, and
Mhm.
after a while she started to feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
about it and brought it to his attention. But he's like, oh, it's not about the connotation, it's
Of
not
the
about
word.
that, but I just like the way it sounds. I like you calling me that. And she's all about the connotation, which I understand as well.
But it's
Because
like,
I've said the
okay,
things
let
like, I'm
me
not
let
going to
you
call
feel
anybody
with
daddy because I don't have daddy issues. But it's a thing
It's
where
weird.
if that's your kink and she's willing to do it for you and call you daddy and you like it, then I'm not gonna yuck your yum. But if she's having an issue with it where she doesn't feel comfortable saying it, just like me, if somebody's like, "Oh yeah, call me daddy," I'd be like,
It's like, dude,
no.
not into the incest thing, okay?
Not
That's
just
weird.
that. It's just, for me, I just don't feel comfortable saying it, and it sounds silly coming out of my mouth. To me, I feel like I sound silly saying it. Like, oh yeah, that's daddy. Ugh, no, I don't like it. I don't. I don't get I don't get it. So I'm a full 100% agreeing with her, where it's gross. And the fact that she did the oh yeah, call me grandma thing, that is
That was the
funny to
icing
me
on the cake.
because
yeah.
it's like the roles are reversed. Like, I'm not having you call me mommy. Like, let me show you how ridiculous it sounds to me.
Yeah. She put the power on that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But listen, I'm not against that, but I will say this. If somebody feels uncomfortable with something like that, you have to respect it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because what if, she was like, she wanted to do some shit to you that you just wasn't for. It's
Bend
the same
over,
thing.
kid.
You know what I mean? I'm about to put the strap on.
Yeah.
How about you take what I take? You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna want to do
when it
that.
comes to, obviously, when it comes to sex and intimacy, it's all about consent
And compromise.
and compromise.
Yes.
And if it's consensual and you all compromise about it, then fucking go for it. Do whatever fucking floats your boat and gets you off, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
when it
agree.
comes to certain things where it's like if they're the other party isn't comfortable, or even if they are compromise or try to compromise, right? She tried it. She tried it.
She
You
definitely
can't. She
tried.
tried it. She
She
said she
tried.
obliged.
She
She said she
tried.
probably obliged multiple times. And if
Hmm.
that's the thing that gets them, then that's the thing that gets them. However, since she said she tried and she still doesn't
Her
like it,
point
she's
was
still
made.
uncomfortable. Her yeah, absolutely. So
Definitely.
100%, in my opinion, not the asshole.
No.
I don't feel so. No. Let's do another one. What about you?
Okay, so I found one. Okay, by System Bond, 1907. Um, not that they listen or anything, but whatever. Just in case. It said, "Am I the asshole for refusing to let my husband's infertile friend name our son?"
Oh, hell no. Okay, continue.
My husband, he's 33, and his best friend, 37, Will, is infertile. He got divorced 2 times because of it, and because he lied and hid his infertility.
Oh,
And his life hasn't been the same since the day he was told he can't have kids. He has always had a soft spot for children, and when he found out that me and my husband were expecting, he was super thrilled. He started buying us gifts and decor pieces that he made from his woodwork for my baby. My husband thinks that those are, nice gestures, but I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable, especially with how much he keeps mentioning the baby. So, a few days ago, my husband and I found out the gender of the baby. The minute we told Will, he started calling the baby random names that he picked and
mm,
was going to give the baby the name if he since he wasn't fertile. He then started begging us to use this, but my husband called me heartless. Oh no. Well, basically, she wanted to use the name. He wanted to use the name. She said no. The husband was like, "Are you heartless? You can't have kids. Let him name the baby." She wants to know, is she the asshole for disagreeing with her husband about her infertile friend and to name their son? What do you think?
I feel like there's a couple of ex- exceptions, right? Or certain things where
Okay, lay it on me. What you talking about?
is this their first kid? Is this the couple's first kid, right?
She didn't really state that.
So if this, well, I'm gonna assume.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna assume this is the couple's first kid because they said they're just expecting. Um, for me personally, not having any kids, it's a special moment, right? You find
Right.
out you're pregnant, you get excited with your significant other. It's all about you and your significant other, not whoever else brings themselves into that situation. You're
Right.
creating a person. Ultimately, you and your significant other should have full
Yeah.
reign of the baby
Y'all
name,
make
right?
that name
full
based
full
on how
decision
y'all
on that.
feeling.
Absolutely. Most other people will go to certain other people and be like, I can't think of any names. Do you have a suggestion? Or I'm gonna, think of something that important, or I'm gonna name them after this person, or whatever it may be. I understand where the guy's coming from, the infertile friend will, right?
Yeah.
Where he's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I get
I
it,
don't
but
I get it, and I get where he's
that's
coming
a
from,
step
and I get
over the
the
line.
loss that he feels, but
Hmm.
100% step over the line. And also, if you are so wanting of a baby and wanting of a child, go fucking adopt. Go see what you can do in that
I mean,
section,
that's a
and
that's a
see if
thing.
you can change the name or find a name of a kid that
I
you really like. You like
no
this
no
name? Go
look,
find a
I
kid named
get
this
you,
name and go
but
and go.
that bond will never be 100.
I
Like
don't
when you have your
necessarily agree
kid.
with that because a lot of it is nurture versus nature in that aspect, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
so you might not necessarily, because
I know
let's break it
firsthand.
down. Do you think that your son, your out of the two groups that you have, right? So
Mm.
your oldest son in the second group, right? Who's not technically yours, but your wife's.
Uh-huh.
I know for a goddamn fact you do not care any less about him than you do your other kids.
No.
That is
Till the wheels fall
100%
off.
your child.
Uh-huh.
Despite what any tests may say, that is 100% your child.
Yeah.
That's yours. Because you raised him, you taught him everything, you are his father, and you were that fatherly role.
Right.
So with this person, when they adopt a child or bring a child into their lives, they are not assuming that fatherly role. And once you have that kid in your life for so many years or however many, once that bond is formed, it's fucking formed. Whether it came out of you,
but, I mean,
whether it came out of you or you took them, you know, whether that was your own flesh and blood or whether that's somebody you decided to take in and care for, that's still your family. That's still your kid.
Oh yeah, no doubt,
100%. So
but
for
I
you
mean,
saying,
do you
like,
think
I understand where you're coming from when you say, like, it's not the same in the sense because, yeah, I didn't create it. I didn't get to give him that name. I didn't get to. So I understand it's a lost opportunity. However, I feel like it's way overstepping boundaries.
Yeah.
To try and say, oh, can we name him that? I understand suggesting it and be like, hey, if you guys want baby name suggestions, I got a shit ton for you, and I would love to, you know, love to share them with you.
What I mean is, like, do you think he would have felt like it was the complete family because he was divorced, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if he was to go to an adopt, that whole thing ain't there. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Like,
but also
it's not complete.
But you also said that this person.
100.
I agree, and you also said that this person got divorced because of his infertility, right?
Right.
That's on the woman's fault, in my opinion. I understand wanting to have a baby, but if you're in love with somebody and you care deeply about this person and this person cannot have children, it shouldn't matter. Okay, let's go adopt so we can have that family. Let's go do something so we can have that family.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about getting a sperm donor so I can be in vitro or whatever it may be, and
what you want to do?
So I can still give birth and have the experience of a pregnancy,
just like you.
But you can also go through that experience with me, you know, or whatever you guys can afford or plan or do something like that. But I feel like that's way overstepping boundaries to ask to have that that kid named something of yours. Just because you don't get something doesn't mean you can take somebody else's.
Oh no, I agree with you. 100%.
You know, opportunity, especially like the reason why I asked if it was the first kid, because I understand with the second kid, you know, you've had your first kid, you had your first, you know, we're gonna name him, we're gonna have your special moment.
But even that, I ain't gonna lie, even that, you like, yo,
no, this is my baby.
I got to name this one, you get to name that one. Oh, it's my turn again.
You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. Some people might not find it as important of, you know, baby name's not as important. You know, I'm just slap a name on it. I don't care. Yeah, sure. Let's name him Steve. Who cares? You like that name? I like that name. Fuck it. Some people, obviously, this woman felt that this was important to her. That baby name is special. And I understand that 100% because, once again, like I said, I don't have kids, but if I, you know, do, I'll probably be like, no, I'm naming this child. This is my decision.
That's the thing.
Ultimately.
I felt like if he didn't seem creepy, like, she would have been okay with it.
Yeah, she already was feeling off-put with him.
With him making the toys,
bringing all the toys over and getting him.
He was doing too much.
He wasn't asked to get involved. He was involving himself.
Yes,
and that's where the issue
the creepiness
lies. That's where the creepiness factor comes in.
What is it called? Rob the cradle, honey, I robbed the cradle or some shit.
I don't think that's what you're looking for. Robbing the cradle means you're just dating somebody significantly
No, it was about this lady who was trying to kidnap this baby.
The movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
the lady became the nanny so she can kidnap the baby and take over the life of the mother.
But there's a lot of fucking movies like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's what it's called.
Probably. I believe it.
But my thing is, I honestly believe she would have been perfectly fine with it if he didn't creep her out doing the other shit. I don't think if he didn't made himself feel like if you name this baby what I want to name it, I'm gonna be a part of this baby's life. And he didn't make her feel that way, I think she would have been okay. But he made her feel like the vibe I got from reading the story is
But she was creeped out.
she was creeped out to where it was like, oh, if we
It was-
name the baby whatever he wants, he's
This
gonna
is gonna,
pretend
like,
like he's
his
the father of
baby,
the baby.
and
You know what
it
I'm
could
saying?
get weird. It could get, in that sense,
Yes.
and I understand that, and that's why it's a good thing that she set her boundaries and she put her foot down. And there just needs to be a little more communication between her and her husband. He needs to understand why it's so important for her to name that child.
Indeed.
And also, he needs to understand that his friend is overstepping boundaries when it comes to their kid, because that's not his friend's kid. Sucks that you can't have kids. It sucks that you're going through this, and may feel like a little bit of a slap in the face that we're having a kid now, because it's like, haha, look what we can do and you can't. However,
that's not how they meant that.
No, no, because you don't plan that shit. Most of the time, you don't fucking plan that shit. Stuff happens, and you're like, oh, hey, look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that they didn't have a baby to be vindictive, and I'm not
be
saying
an
that.
asshole.
Then you are the asshole. But
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
no, it's ultimately your child, your choice. Name him whatever. I don't think you were the asshole for that. I feel like that dude overstepped his boundaries a bit. But
you guys, this is why we do this podcast. You see how we just talk about shit?
bullshit.
This
Forever.
is what we do. And
But-
this is how we keep it sophisticated. So you got another.
I got another one.
You got another one?
It's in the same, not the same realm, but it's speaking of babies, right? Speaking of babies, okay. This one's called The Reluctant Babysitter.
Uh-oh.
It says, I, 27 female, and a friend, 24 female, have kids the same age, 2. We recently did a girls' beach trip. I left my child at home with my husband for the first time in 2 years was child-free. Sorry, let me start over.
For the
We
first
recently
time in
did
2
a
years?
girls' beach trip. I left my child at home with my husband for the first time, and in consequence, for the first time in 2 years, was child-free. My husband does what he can regarding our kids and does a lot, but is gone a lot for work, so I've never been apart from my kids for more than a few hours before someone says that I have a husband issue. This isn't the issue there.
All right.
My friend brought her child, which no one in the group had a problem with at all, except my friend has a habit of letting, or rather forcing, others to watch/parent her kid. Every time we hang out, she kind of checks out, goes on her phone, or wanders off and sort of dumps her kid on the friend group. Well, on this beach trip, which was overnight, she did just that to me. Now remember, this is the first time in a long time I've been kid-free, at least my kid-free. And here she is dumping her kid on me. Her kid is asking me to play with them, walk with them, kid stuff, and I just want a break. But my friend here is playing on her phone, just totally checked out. I try to redirect her kid back to her, saying, oh, you should go ask your mom to play.
Yes, sir.
To which she says, without missing a beat, no, you have way more patience for them anyway. You play with him. My blood fucking boiled, and I explained to her that I left my kid at home because I wanted to be kid-free for the night and not babysit hers. She rolled her eyes, and I just lost it and told her to stop being lazy and watch your own kid. Of course she was pissed, but the rest of the group had my back. But my friend was so angry, I can't help but feel like I'm in the wrong. I, once again, 100% believe that you are not the asshole for that. That is
No, sorry, Bob.
a whole lot of fuck you, dude.
No.
I've had that happen a couple of times, and you know what happened? I stopped hanging out with that friend. Simple as that. I personally, I don't have kids
Not
right now
happening.
for a reason. This chick didn't bring her child to an overnight trip to have fun for a reason. She didn't bring her kid. Kid's home at dad's. This is the first time in 2 years she's been kid-free, and
Not
now
happening.
she has to babysit
Not
your
happening.
kid? No, that's not happening. I would have done the same shit. I would have, if you bring the kid and everybody's okay with it, awesome, fine. You guys have a good time. Can't find a babysitter, you can't find a babysitter. But when did it become my obligation to watch your child? We're
I'm
on
about to
vacation.
give my sophisticated answer
Oh,
since we
please give
nailed
me.
it down to the last one.
Yes.
And my sophisticated answer, and if you was in this situation, what would you do? I'm going to tell you. And here's my sophisticated answer. You are not the asshole. You are not the asshole. Listen, I get a chance to be baby free, and you want me to watch
After
your
2 years.
kid?
2 years.
Not
Baby free for the
happening.
first time in 2 years.
Not happening.
Go fuck yourself.
No. I'm about to party my ass off.
As soon as she said, "Oh no, they seem to like you anymore. They like hanging out with you better," I'd be like, "You're their fucking mother."
I wouldn't say nothing. I'd walk away and just be like,
"Oh, that's too bad.
them your kids."
Sucks. Sucks to suck.
Listen, friendship will end because I'm not doing it, man.
No, because
I can't.
I can't be taken advantage of in that situation. And for me, I am a good enough person where if
I'm gonna be the
that mom
asshole,
isn't
but I'm
paying
not the
attention-
asshole in this situation.
if that mom isn't paying attention or if that mom's too off her fucking rocker and she doesn't give a shit that their baby's there, I'm 100% gonna be watching this kid.
She was playing on her phone.
And yeah, but for you to just blatantly fucking ignore your kid, is that what you do at home?
Right?
You just let the TV babysit, or
listen,
it is what it is.
keep it sophisticated. You know what I'm saying?
Take care of your own children.
And my sophisticated answer is, you are not the asshole. I mean, at this point, I would consider myself the asshole, but I'm not the asshole. You know what I'm saying?
You might be a asshole, but you're not the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like,
in this particular
you probably
situation,
could have worded it better, or maybe not, but that's not the point.
In this particular situation, I'm the asshole for saying what I gotta say, but I'm not the asshole in the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's with all of our stories, I feel like. Everybody's the asshole for saying what they had to say. Right?
I mean, you had to get it off somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
you know what's up, but I'm not gonna just tell you, so let me vent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean,
I get it. So I got another one here.
Awesome.
And it says, am I the asshole for, opening my big fat mouth? Said my brother, 30. Me, I'm sorry, it's 30. My brother's 25 and he's getting married. He got a fiance. She's 24. They have been arguing about whose surname to take. My brother's main argument is that he's the man and it's traditional for the woman to take the man's name. The fiance, however, is really close to her family and really wants to keep her surname in spirits of how close they are. So she, the person that's telling the story, jokingly said, we as a society should make a new rule. Take the surname of whoever contributes the most toward the cost of the wedding, and that's the person who gets to win the surname thing, right? And she said, honestly, she didn't think anyone would take her serious, and she was just tired of them disagreeing about it the whole time. So everyone got quiet for a few minutes and just sort of changed the subject. She got home and her brother blew up her phone. Apparently, she and her family contributed most. Also, her family contributed toward a down payment on their home for their house. So apparently, she did not. So apparently, she didn't have to open her mouth. So she doubled down and she told her brother, "You know what you got to do now." Am I the asshole for this? I'm having mixed feelings. What do you think? I'm having mixed feelings. This is why
I always feel like when I start dating somebody, I see what their name is, their last name is.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's like,
will this make a good last name
for me? Can I be?
Is this shit gonna go right?
Can I be so and so so and so? And it's like, that doesn't have the same credit ring as my last name now.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this. But I have a great solution for their situation, for their problem, right? Hyphenate it. Fucking hyphenate it. Take both last names.
I was thinking that too.
I don't understand what the problem is. I for one am fully with taking the man's last name because it is a tradition.
It, yeah.
It is a tradition where it's like I pretty much if I were to marry somebody, I probably would take their last name. But also, I do really like my own last name. So there might be a hyphenating situation.
So for me, I feel a little different because me personally, we didn't my wife didn't change her last name. I didn't think it was a big deal. I really didn't. It's to me that was not
paperwork, isn't it?
It's not. It wasn't a part of what the
important?
bond is. Yes, it wasn't important. It's like having, $1 million wedding rings. That's not important. It was the moment.
Because you all got married in Vegas. Mm-hmm. You guys didn't have a big wedding. Mm-mm. You guys had a little almost like drive-through wedding. It was
nice.
It was nice, but that was the best part was
we old school as fuck. We don't need a big old.
And you took
shindig.
All of your family, that you wanted there, and we all drove out to Vegas.
That's what we did.
And we had a great time. It was a Vegas trip with a wedding thrown in it,
Yeah.
And we all had a blast. And what the thing was nothing changed. Like, yeah, you guys went in engaged and came out married, but your whole relationship, it was exactly the same. Yeah. You guys were married before that even happened.
We just put that paperwork on it.
That was it. Yeah. You guys just signed a document making it official.
Mm-hmm. That's all it was.
And that's the thing is like people have so much importance on a wedding, and that's where it is. And
so-called tradition.
Yeah.
You create your own tradition.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
Oh, I 100% agree.
You create that. You don't have to take after nobody else.
But I honestly, I feel like I don't know how to say if she's the asshole or not on this one.
That's why I said I got mixed feelings.
One, I'm gonna lean towards not the asshole because obviously if she knew that the bride's family was paying for a majority of it or paying for all of it, including a down payment, she didn't. That. Because if she did know, that wouldn't have been her argument. Yeah. Right? I don't think she would have said something like, oh, joust for it. Or, she would have made another joke about it. Or rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins gets the last name. Yeah. She could have went and joked about it a little more. She made a very, I think, real joke or very, something that she didn't realize had a consequence to it. So I understand why her brother's upset. Because it's like, you just threw it in my face and basically told her that,
she wins.
Kind of a thing. And I'm pretty sure that as soon as the sister said that, though, the fiance probably looked at, him and was like, well, that settles that, you know? But
and that pissed him off even more.
Yeah. But even your sister said it, Yeah, I could see where that's coming from.
I still feel like at the same time.
But it's not like she knew.
But dude, why do you, if you love her, why do you care about that so much? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a big deal. I don't feel like it's that big of a deal because it's just like, I think that shit's cool because it's like we come from two different worlds. We don't got to change our name from that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Especially if you feel like spiritually y'all one. You know what I'm saying? You don't have
to that's what the whole marriage thing is about, right? You're combining
that bond,
that union, that
love.
Exactly. You're just making it official in front of everybody. And you have your witnesses and shit. I don't understand why people are putting such an importance on that sort of thing.
Nah, I feel like that's not really something to get mad about. You know what I mean? You should have been more concentrating on the planning the wedding than anything.
But also, if this conversation is happening a couple months before the wedding or enough to already have everything planned out.
It should have been a conversation.
It should have been a conversation already had. you know, like talking when you guys are, because
And they
when
come
you
up
guys are
with the
talking about
compromise.
getting engaged and stuff, like, oh, I would love to spend the rest of my life with you. Oh, haha, I could see myself as Mrs. So and so or
Oh
whatever. Or
yeah.
actually, I'd want to take my own last name, keep my last name. That's where that conversation comes in, way before the
Absolutely.
wedding.
Absolutely.
And if you're having this conversation a month before, then maybe you guys should hold back and kind of continue to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Because that's why so many marriages end in divorce now. It's because you guys aren't taking the time to get to know each other.
Y'all ain't
It's
having them.
stupid.
They haven't
You're not having
talks.
those. Yeah.
They having talks, but they
not
ain't having them talks that
conversations.
hurt. Yeah.
You know?
You got to be able to talk about everything, not just the good shit.
Absolutely.
You
have
got
to
to
talk
be
about
able to talk about the shit that's going to hurt.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. And not only just
definitely.
like, oh yeah, 100%. I agree with you there. Okay, let's go. I have one more for you.
What you got?
Let me find it real quick. My screenshots aren't working. But this one I feel is a little more on the lighthearted side, I think. But I found this one very funny, in my opinion.
Wait, is it soft or is it motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Because you was like, it's soft hearted, but it's funny. It's like,
I
damn.
don't.
Is it gonna make me cry or is it gonna make me laugh?
I said this one is a little more. No, I don't think anything like that. I said this one isn't. This one I found really funny, in my opinion, but I'm just a fucked up person, so you tell me. Am I the asshole? I'll answer that for you.
Be. Absolutely.
Yes. So it says, am I the asshole for giving all of my coworkers a different reason for why I have missing fingers?
Oh, shit.
So that's basically it.
Oh, you
right?
ain't.
So he says, I have 3 fingers missing on my dominant hand. It's fine. I can type and everything can manage and everything and even manage to tie my shoelaces most days. However, I won't deny that it looks a bit odd to most people. I have only my 4th and 5th fingers, so my hand looks a bit like a child's drawing of a rabbit and not a good one. So, yeah, little bunny. All right. I'm used to people asking about it, and usually after staring for a minute or two, but I still find it annoying. I really don't get why you'd think it would be an okay thing to ask someone about, but hey, I wasn't raised in a barn. Usually I nip the question in the bud by just explaining the truth from the get-go and assuming that enough people will gossip about it that the message will spread by the end of the day. Okay. Anyway, I started a new job about a month ago, and I honestly could not face going through that same cycle again. I feel like the time had come to not play into it anymore and to make something out of it. And I decided to make myself laugh. When the first new coworker asked about it, I completely lied and I told her that I chewed them off as a baby.
Damn.
I then decided to tell the next person who asked that I cut them off with a plastic knife at a picnic. And then the next person that I was born with 6 fingers and they removed too many and so on and so forth, right? So every single person that asks, he just makes up a completely blatant lie about how he lost his fingers. Okay. And he said, all genuinely ridiculous reasons, but I'm a good actor and they actually believed my stupid lies. I didn't expect them to. A plastic knife through bone? Come on now. But there you go. Maybe they just thought there's no way I'd lie about how I lost my fingers. Within about 3 days, I learned that my coworkers had been arguing about the actual reason, and it seems like a lot of them now actively dislike me for lying to them. I'm probably going to have to make them some cupcakes over the weekend to get back into their good books. Anyways, I told this story to my brother today, and he told me that I was an asshole because I caused tension within the office on my first day and made people feel stupid for being gullible and believing my lies. My argument is that I'm not the asshole because they were asking a rude, albeit common question, and because I didn't do it with the intention of deceiving them, I just honestly was fed up with the question and didn't think that they actually think I severed 3 fingers with dental floss when I was 3. I'll accept my judgment, though.
Yo, listen. I don't think he was an asshole. I mean, he basically got tired of people asking him the question. He's getting asked the question over and over and over. And he's like, the only time somebody approached me, the first thing they say is, hey, what happened with your fingers?
I can understand how tiring that can be. And also, you don't know how that person actually lost it. What if it's a traumatic story, right? And every time he gets asked, he has to bring up that trauma. It's understandable. So for me personally, I think if I lost my couple of fingers or lost a leg or, had something like
I
that,
do
where
that shit
somebody
too.
came up to me and felt the need to ask me about it, or I was constantly asked about it, I would make up those little white lies and say some stupid shit like that. And it's not with the power of like, oh, you're gonna believe this, or you're stupid if you believe this. It's more of like, quit asking me stupid questions.
Me,
Why is
hey,
it for
me,
me? It's
I
more
would
of
be
like,
like,
why
yo,
is it
let me
so
find out who gossiping real quick.
exactly? So you told
Oh, so
this
you
person. I
told
never told
Bob.
them that I lost
Yeah.
it with dental
I
floss.
told y'all all different shit. So
Yeah.
you and Bob over here arguing over some bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's so stupid to me. But I also think the reason why I found it hilarious is because, one, if I was in that situation, that is something 100% I would do.
Oh yeah,
Was
I
just come
would
up with
too.
as many
I
lies
would
as I
too.
could to just tell them. And
It,
it's one of those things where it just gets fucking tiring.
I
I'm
do.
guessing.
Although people might disagree with me, I do feel like that's rude if that's how you start a conversation.
Oh,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? You could just be like, "Hey,
Yes.
I'm so and so. What's your
But
name?"
to play devil's advocate, I feel like if you're curious,
That's all you got
right?
though to start a conversation.
No,
Now ease
no,
into that shit.
no. I feel like ease into it. But if you're curious, I was always taught to ask, right? If you have a question, ask it. If you're curious, ask it.
Yeah.
However, there's ways and nuances to go about it, where it's like, hey, I know this might be uncomfortable for you. I'm just curious. You don't have to share it if you don't want to, but I would love to know, or I just want to know. Like I just want to know, like, what happened. I'm sorry if that's a rude question. You don't have to answer it. I just am a curious person, and if they want to share,
But would
they
you
want to
be
share.
offended if your motherfucker told you some crazy story?
If for me, I'm a little less on the gullible side, so if they told me, I'd shoot him off when I was an infant, or I had 6, but took too many off, I'd laugh and be like, hey, wait, really? I might question it, but also I would take it as okay, if that's the answer that you're gonna give me, that's the answer I'll take. Because if you don't want to tell me the truth, or you don't,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go tell
I'm not
Bill
gonna
and
push
Bob
I'm not gonna push
that
it.
you told me this shit. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Because you told me that in confidence. That's how I'm gonna feel.
Yeah.
So I don't think you the asshole. I think that was an asshole move, but in this situation,
But it
you are
was one of
not
those
the
things
asshole.
where it's like, yeah, you were probably an asshole, but you were a
They
funny
gon-
asshole.
they gon-
so
yes. So you
and
get a
you know
pass.
what? You're making cupcakes, so I hope they're delicious, and I hope they accept your apology cupcakes.
Make sure they cheesecake bite cupcakes.
Oh yeah,
me, them shit's
I made
lit.
cheesecake bites this weekend, and within like 10 minutes since they got brought into the house, they were gone.
Shit's lit.
Gone. So yeah, they're fucking delicious though. Ooh, you know what I should make next time? I'll make pumpkin cheesecake bites.
Ooh.
Because you've had the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies I've made, right?
Wait, what? No.
Yes,
no.
yes, because I made them
I don't
last
remember
year.
that. I think you're gonna have to make them again and remind
fuck,
me.
I fucked up and said something. All right. Also, if you want any of those recipes, let me know. I'll post them. Just delicious, especially enough for like in time for fall season. Pumpkin anything, pumpkin spice bitches. Do it.
All right. So now we're gonna get into a little bit of sophisticated note.
Hell yeah.
We got retro prints with sunny. Oh, Days in the Sun. My bad. Retro prints with Days in the Sun.
It's like that's your name.
right, you guys. Check this out. We're not going to do sophisticated, complicated, or just hate it. We just want to ask you guys out there, what would you do? Are you the asshole? What would you do in these situations?
Tell us your asshole stories.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you were the asshole in the situation and you're not sure, let us be your Reddit page. Send it over here. Let us know. We'll read them out.
Yeah.
Discuss it.
And we will shout you out as
Absolutely.
well. But let us know. Are you the asshole?
Or we'll let you know. And don't be an asshole. Follow us. Subscribe.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Sophisticated SOM on Instagram, Patreon, TikTok,
YouTube,
Twitter. Hit us up at Sophisticated on Twitter. But with that being said, as always, y'all know how it is. Gotta keep it sophisticated. Make sure you keep your motherfucking pinkies up and your dicks out. And we out this bitch.
Take care.
All right.